This rumor refuses to die. No matter how much time drags by, no matter how hard everyone pretends they've moved on, it keeps clawing its way back.
Enriching me. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like through different things, through marriage, through having my son 1 week and losing my mom the next week. So it's just like, it's so many different things that have shaped me, and I'm just going through it, and I can't just keep that kind of stuff to myself. Yeah. I feel like it's worth sharing, and I want to share it, and I want to be honest, and you know what I mean?
It just drags itself back out of the dark every single time. Louder, messier, and somehow even more chaotic than before. For nearly 10 years, fans have been obsessing over the same wild rumor claiming that Jay-Z might secretly be the father of Kelly Rowland's son, Titan. Yes, that rumor. The one that refuses to stay dead. It began as quiet whispers buried in old forum threads, then mutated into late-night Twitter theories, and now it's storming back onto social media like it never disappeared in the first place.
The moment I walked in there, I saw his face. I saw how old he was. I saw time. I said, something said, be quiet.
People are out here arguing like it's a court case, digging up old clips, screenshots, timelines, treating this decade-old rumor like they're solving a true crime mystery. And let's get one thing straight, Kelly Rowland has never said anything wild. She's always carried herself with loyalty, respect, and pure class. She never once fed the frenzy. But recently, when she finally chose to address the rumor head-on, everything went silent. Not because of what she said, but because of what she didn't. And that pause, that tiny moment of hesitation, sent the entire internet spiraling straight into detective mode.
A little, but you don't ever sink for anybody. You stand straight, you put your head and face forward, and you know exactly what you bring to the table. Because
if this rumor were just meaningless internet chatter, why would it keep roaring back every single year? Why hasn't it vanished like countless other celebrity theories? Instead, whenever Jay-Z and Kelly appear in the same space, whenever Titan's name trends, whenever an old Destiny's Child interview resurfaces, fans twist that stray quote, "I think it's because he loves me," and also whatever follows it, in their debates.
I think it's because he loves me, and also when he does it, I think he's like trying to get my attention.
Boom. Suddenly, the comparisons explode all over again. Fans start pulling up old photos side by side, breaking down facial features, matching little mannerisms, zooming in like they're running a full CSI lab. TikTok edits pop up overnight, and Reddit threads start blowing up like wildfire.
Well, I'm having a moment this morning because my son just walks up to me, and why is he this tall?
It turns into a brand new investigation every single time. And here's where things get ridiculously juicy. For years, fans have insisted that Titan looks way too similar to Jay-Z for comfort. The nose, the jawline, the smirk, even the way he moves. People online swear the resemblance is impossible to ignore. Did Kelly Rowland just drop the truth about Jay-Z? And did Beyoncé actually lose it behind the scenes? Because what started as a harmless internet rumor has now exploded into one of the biggest celebrity storms we've seen in years. And this time, it's shaking the very core of Beyoncé's inner circle. For months, fans have whispered, speculated, and obsessed over one question. Why does Kelly Rowland's son, Titan, look so shockingly similar to Jay-Z? The nose, the smile, the expressions. The resemblance is so uncanny that even people who never believed in celebrity rumors are suddenly staring twice. But the real chaos began when Kelly finally broke her silence. She didn't deny anything. She didn't shut down the rumors. She didn't call it nonsense. Instead, she dropped a cryptic truth that sent shockwaves through the Bayhive and left Beyoncé reportedly furious. People close to the situation claim there were raised voices, slammed doors, and a heated confrontation that no one expected, especially not from someone as private as Beyoncé. So what exactly did Kelly reveal? Why did Beyoncé snap? And is Jay-Z at the center of a truth they've been trying to hide for years? Let's break it down. The moment Kelly's cryptic comment hit the internet, everything shifted. What had been a messy but mostly harmless rumor suddenly grew teeth. Fans who had been casually speculating were now dissecting every second of her interview, slowing down clips, analyzing her expressions, and asking why she looked so tense when the question came up. And the biggest question was the same everywhere. Why didn't she deny it? Why didn't she shut it down? But to understand why the internet spiraled out of control so fast, you have to look at how deep this entire situation actually goes. Because Kelly and Beyoncé were never just bandmates. They were never just friends. They weren't even regular sisters. Their bond was built on childhood, survival, sacrifice, and years of climbing the industry together. Kelly didn't just grow up next to the Knowles family, she grew up inside it. Her whole identity, her personality, her career, everything was shaped while living under the same roof as Beyoncé. So when fans say the rumor feels too close for comfort, they're not just talking about Titan's smile or Jay-Z's expressions. They're talking about decades of intertwined history that the world has seen but never really understood. And that history becomes even more complicated when you add Jay-Z into the equation. When he came into Beyoncé's life, he didn't just step into a relationship, he stepped into a family structure that had been built since childhood. He got the spotlight, the fame, the partnership, but he also inherited Kelly, the sister figure, the childhood friend, the girl who had grown up eating at the same dinner table as Beyoncé. So naturally, they saw each other often. Holidays, late-night studio sessions, world tours, private gatherings, they were there, in the same rooms, sharing space, sharing moments. Most of it innocent, all of it normal for people who see each other as extended family. But the internet never sees it that way. Fans started revisiting old red carpet clips, award show moments, backstage interactions, anything that featured Kelly and Jay-Z together. And it didn't help that the one clip resurfaced again and again, the Harder They Fall premiere, where Jay-Z's face lit up the second he saw Kelly. For most people, it was a harmless moment. But for a rumor-hungry internet, it became fuel. People slowed it down frame by frame, calling the smile too warm, the hug too familiar, and the body language too comfortable. Whether these claims were fair or exaggerated didn't matter. Once the internet sees a pattern, it runs with it. But the real explosion happened when fans began comparing pictures of Titan to Jay-Z side-by-side photos spread like wildfire. Titan as a baby next to young Jay-Z, Titan smiling next to Blue Ivy, Titan's expressions next to teenage Jay. None of it was evidence. It was all speculation, theories, visual guesses, but it didn't stop the whispers. Some people insisted the similarities were uncanny. Others said it was coincidence. Some said it was genetics being strange. And others, the loudest ones, said it meant something more. And that is when Kelly's silence became the loudest part of the story. Because every time a reporter or interviewer brought up the rumor, she would smile, laugh awkwardly, or gently move the conversation somewhere else. Not a denial. Not a correction. Just avoidance. And for her fans, that was enough. For her critics, it was fuel. For rumor spreaders, it was confirmation. And for the Bay Hive, it was tension they didn't want to acknowledge. According to online speculation and anonymous tabloid claims, none of which have ever been verified, Beyoncé was reportedly unhappy with how Kelly handled the situation. Some fans even believe Beyoncé wanted the rumor shut down decisively, publicly, and permanently. But Kelly's softer, quieter approach made everything worse. Whether Beyoncé was actually upset or whether this was just internet fanfiction, no one knows. But that didn't stop people online from creating entire theories about arguments, disagreements, and emotional confrontations behind closed doors. The only thing that is clear is that the rumor didn't die. It grew. And Kelly's comment about some truths belonging only to family acted like gasoline on a fire that was already burning out of control. People twisted it, misinterpreted it, exaggerated it, and turned it into something far bigger than anything Kelly might have intended. But the real problem wasn't the interviews or the comments. It was the silence from Jay-Z. The internet kept asking, why won't he address it? Why won't he shut it down? Why won't he say something, anything, to stop the chaos? That silence became the final piece of the puzzle fans needed to convince themselves that there was a truth hiding behind the polished smiles and perfect PR. And now, the entire world is watching, waiting, and speculating. As the rumor spiraled and Jay-Z's silence became the internet's favorite talking point, fans started digging deeper into Kelly's past interviews, Beyoncé's old reactions, and even Titan's earliest public photos. People were connecting dots that may not have even existed, but they didn't care. Once the internet decides there's a hidden story, it creates one, piece by piece, theory by theory, until the speculation begins to feel real. There was also another layer, Kelly's long history of emotional honesty. When she dropped Dirty Laundry, a song about pain, jealousy, trauma, and the emotional destruction she faced in her earlier life, fans revisited it with fresh eyes. Back then, people assumed it was just an abusive relationship she was addressing. But now, rumor enthusiasts claimed the song carried hidden messages, unspoken truths, and double meanings that hinted at deeper emotional wounds that might connect to Beyoncé, or Jay-Z, or the complicated triangle the internet had created. In online forums, fans argued endlessly. Some said Kelly was hurting from a secret she could never reveal. Others believed she felt overshadowed for years, and that deep emotional conflict was now resurfacing because of the Titan speculation. And then there were people who said her song had nothing to do with Beyoncé or Jay-Z, she was simply expressing her past, and the internet was twisting her pain into drama. But once a narrative begins to spread, it rarely stops. As weeks passed, every tiny move Kelly made became a discussion point. If she liked a tweet about motherhood, people called it a clue. If she posted a picture with Titan, fans zoomed in, overanalyzed his features, compared his smile, and left thousands of comments. Even her silence on social media was treated like a message. Some said she was hiding. Others said she was protecting her family. And many believed she was avoiding the storm altogether because she didn't want to add more oxygen to the fire. Meanwhile, Beyoncé's fans were fiercely defending her, shutting down rumors, blocking accounts, and demanding people leave Kelly alone. But the more they fought, the more attention the rumor received. Every attempt to push the story underground made it trend even more. Some claimed Beyoncé was angry behind closed doors, while others insisted she didn't care at all and was simply ignoring the noise. But the lack of a clear response, whether real or imagined, kept the internet in guessing mode. People also revisited Jay-Z's past controversies, even unrelated ones, and connected them to this rumor. Old tabloid stories resurfaced, exaggerated accusations reappeared, and past paternity claims, whether true, false, dismissed, or fabricated, were suddenly being discussed again. The narrative shifted from Titan to Jay-Z's history, then back to Kelly's childhood with the Knowles family. Everything blended into one giant storm of speculation with no clear center. And through all of this, Tim Weatherspoon, Kelly's husband, remained in the background. He rarely appears in interviews, barely posts online, and hardly addresses public drama. But his silence, which might simply be a personality trait or a desire for privacy, became another piece of internet evidence. People began questioning his absence, calling him mysterious, quiet, or too private. None of it meant anything, but in a rumor-driven story, even harmless silence becomes suspicious. Every few days, new videos, theories, and threads appeared. Some claimed Kelly and Beyoncé unfollowed each other, though they hadn't. Others said Jay-Z avoided being in the same frame as Kelly at events, though no one knew if that was intentional or coincidence. Theories kept multiplying, and no amount of debunking could stop the momentum. This rumor didn't survive because it was believable. It survived because it was dramatic. And the internet loves drama, especially when it involves a friendship as legendary as Kelly and Beyoncé's. Whether there was truth behind any of it didn't matter anymore. The narrative had grown into something bigger than the people involved. And now, the world was waiting for just one thing: a slip, a reaction, a comment, a glance, anything that could be twisted into confirmation. As the speculation intensified, the internet shifted its focus from the past to the present, zooming in on every move Kelly, Beyoncé, and Jay-Z made. Even the smallest actions, liking a post, appearing in a photo, skipping an event, were turned into signals. Fans tried to decode meanings behind things that might not have meant anything at all, but once a rumor takes on a life of its own, even silence becomes suspicious. People began claiming the energy between Kelly and Beyoncé seemed different. Some pointed to old interviews where Beyoncé lovingly praised Kelly, comparing them to sisters. Others resurfaced clips where Kelly supported Beyoncé during major career moments, saying the bond was too deep for any real tension. But rumor-driven viewers twisted both narratives. The affection was either proof of a lifelong, unbreakable sisterhood, or evidence of a friendship so close that any scandal would hurt twice as much. On TikTok and Reddit, amateur body language experts analyzed every public appearance, breaking down micro-expressions, eye movements, and posture shifts. If Beyoncé glanced away quickly, they said she was avoiding something. If Kelly smiled too wide, they called it nervous energy. If Jay-Z didn't stand next to either of them, that became strategic distancing. None of it came from real sources, just imagination wrapped in dramatic storytelling, but audiences ate it up. Then came the resurfaced video from years ago, a backstage moment where Kelly teared up during an interview about Destiny's Child. At the time, it looked like a sweet emotional memory, but rumor builders attached new meaning to it, suggesting she was carrying unspoken pain. Clips of her wiping her eyes were slowed down, recaptioned, and turned into evidence of something deeper. Even though the moment had nothing to do with the current rumor, that didn't stop people from rewriting the narrative to fit their theories. Meanwhile, Beyoncé's fanbase, the Bayhive, went into full protection mode. They argued that the rumor was created by people who wanted to tear down Beyoncé's family and damage her legacy. They insisted Kelly would never betray Beyoncé in any way, and that the entire rumor was built on nothing but photos and imagination. They flooded comment sections, defending Kelly and blasting anyone who tried to drag the friendship through mud. Ironically, the more they defended, the more the rumor spread. And then there was Titan, a child who had nothing to do with any of this, yet his name and face were being discussed everywhere. People compared baby photos, childhood smiles, even tiny gestures. Every new picture Kelly posted of him brought a new wave of comments, some supportive, some speculative, some wildly inappropriate. It didn't matter that fans were only guessing, the discussion kept growing like a story with no ending. The wildest theories came from anonymous online accounts that claimed to know insider secrets. None of these accounts were verified, none had credibility, but they fueled the drama by suggesting that Beyoncé's team wanted the rumor buried. They referenced supposed PR strategies, imaginary phone calls, and fictional backstage arguments. But because the theories were dramatic, and drama goes viral, they spread faster than corrections ever could. By now, the rumor wasn't just about resemblance. It wasn't even just about Kelly and Jay-Z. It had transformed into a story about loyalty, secrecy, and the fragile nature of long-term friendships in the public eye. People projected their own fears, experiences, and insecurities onto the situation, making it feel bigger than celebrity gossip. It became a narrative about betrayal, trust, and the pressures of fame, none of which were confirmed, but all of which made the story irresistible. The truth didn't matter. What mattered was the spectacle. And as long as Kelly stayed quiet, Beyoncé stayed focused on her work, and Jay-Z stayed silent, the internet felt free to build its own version of reality, piece by piece, rumor by rumor. The only thing everyone agreed on was this: something was off. Whether it was real tension, imagined drama, or just the result of online speculation, nobody knew. But the world was watching everything, waiting for even the slightest crack that could turn into a headline. Now the only question left is what you believe. Because this entire situation has turned into one of the biggest online mysteries we've seen in years. And no matter how many theories the internet creates, no matter how deep fans dig, no matter how many clips get resurfaced, the truth is still hiding behind closed doors. And until someone speaks clearly, the rumors will keep spreading, the tensions will keep rising, and the story will keep growing into something none of us ever expected. So tell me this: do you think the internet has blown this completely out of proportion? Is this nothing more than wild fan speculation and over-analysis? Or is there a hidden truth sitting quietly beneath all the smiles, interviews, and carefully chosen words? I want to hear your take. Drop your thoughts in the comments right now. Don't hold back, be honest, be bold, and let's see what the world really thinks about this situation. And if you want the next chapter of this story, if you want the updates, the breakdowns, the theories, the clues, and every new twist this drama brings, make sure you hit that like button. It tells the algorithm you want more deep dive content like this, and it helps this story reach even more people who've been following the rumors since day one. Also, don't forget to share this video with your friends, your group chats, and anyone who loves celebrity mysteries. You never know whose perspective might reveal something new. And of course, hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next part of this unfolding saga. Because trust me, this story is far from over. And the next chapter might be even more shocking than this one. Your voice matters, so let's talk in the comments.